This is the Ohio AgNet from the Voice You Know at the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF. Visit with your local ag retailer about 0% financing on all BASF crop protection, seed treatment, and Zetavo brand soybeans now through March 15th. I'm Ty Higgins. The Ohio Farm Bureau Young Ag Professional Winter Leadership Experience is coming up today and tomorrow. Powered by soy biodiesel, join me for updates during the midday report later on today, brought to you by Ohio Farm Bureau, and get full details at experienceyap.com. Then on Tuesday next week, we're going to be at the OABA Industry Conference, thanks to the Ohio Agribusiness Association for serving Ohio agriculture. Ohio corn farmers are angry, fed up, and out of patience as congressional leaders once again fail to include year-round E15 in the latest funding bill. The House advanced a funding package yesterday that omits language allowing nationwide year-round access to fuels containing a 15% corn ethanol blend, commonly known as E15 or unleaded 88. Jed Bauer farms in Ohio and is president of the National Corn Growers Association.
I don't know how else to say it, but Congress truly has failed us today. We brought forth a bipartisan bill on E15 with the Petroleum Institute, who we have battled for well over a decade on E15, and now they come to the table with us. We fought this jointly, met with the White House, who truly helped negotiate the deal between us. I met with the speaker personally, had 30 minutes with him in December. He talked about his frustrations when it got pulled out last year with DOGE, really got some insight and thought that we were going to get some help there. And then today, it all fell apart. They're going to form some type of committee to look back in and create a bill, which we have already done, which is bipartisan, which does save the government money. But wow, what a letdown for America's farmers.
I know it's a tough day, but we have to think about what's next, right? So as you think about it as the leader of the National Corn Growers Association, what happens tomorrow after we get through the tough loss in
Sure.
the Beltway today?
Well, I mean, we don't quit. We all know the struggles across rural America, and we've got to find some relief. We're going to continue to push this battle. We have some interesting things coming as far as on the demand side, so we're going to continue to push. Obviously going to continue to push with E15. We think that is truly a Band-Aid that will get us over the hump until some of the later greater things come, not only from the corn side, but also the other commodities, and try to make America's farmers profitable again. That's the key.
Farmers need a win.
They do.
Absolutely
They
need
do.
a win. So if we do get year-round E15, what would that mean at the farm gate as far as commodity prices are concerned?
Certainly. Well, we all understand demand. And, even as we were looking at record exports from last year, as we increase from E10 to E15, for every 1% is 490 million bushels of grind. So once this gets through, and it will take a couple years to implement to get to the full volume, that's 2.5 billion bushels. We all seen the amazing numbers that came out from USDA. I don't know, maybe they'll find another 1 million acres next month, who knows? But that is what's holding our markets back, are these huge numbers, and we have to find ways to make those piles smaller. So as we can lower those piles, we increase demand around the world. That should drive the price of our products up. That's what we've always tried to do. That's what we would believe in. As farmers, we want to sell our products in a high demand market, and in turn, hopefully get high prices. So that's what we're going to continue to push for. We're going to engage, I promise you, I will engage with Congress every day until we see something finalized with E15.
That's Jed Bauer, who farms in Ohio and is currently president of the National Corn Growers Association. Let's get a check of the forecast now with Ryan Martin, brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com.
Today, a lot of wind and a lot of brutal cold air. Single-digit highs are going to be the best we can do in a lot of areas. It's going to feel like it's 25 to 30 degrees below zero. So bundle up if you're out and about. Check on livestock. That's definitely going to be a story here. But then the snow comes in later tomorrow afternoon and evening, especially overnight tomorrow night through Sunday. Right now, I'm going to say 2 to 4 inches of snow only in the northwest corner of Ohio. The rest of the state can see anywhere from 6 to maybe 12 inches of snow. Central and southern parts of Ohio seeing some significant snow potential here. On top of that, blowing and drifting are possible, maybe even some ice down near the Ohio River. Next week stays cold all the way through. I'm meteorologist Ryan Martin.
Ryan, thank you. Some out-of-the-box thinking out of Washington to protect American farmers from New World screwworm. Joe Everett has that story.
Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins announced the launch of the New World Screwworm Grand Challenge. This funding opportunity marks a pivotal step in USDA's comprehensive strategy to combat NWS and prevent its northward spread. As part of the Grand Challenge, USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service will make up to $100 million available to support innovative projects that enhance NWS sterile fly production, strengthen response strategies, and safeguard U.S. agriculture and animal health and trade. Animal Plant Health Inspection Service invites proposals that support objectives that develop novel NWS traps and lures, develop and increase understanding of NWS therapeutics and treatments for animals, and develop other tools to bolster preparedness or response to NWS. Eligible applicants are invited to submit proposals that align with and support these priorities by the deadline on February 23, 2026. The notice of the opportunity is available on the NWS Grand Challenge website. For the Ohio AgNet, I'm Joe Everett reporting.
Thank you, Joe. In agriculture, timing matters, and so does good information. From the latest agricultural news to up-to-the-minute weather and market updates, OhioAgNet.com keeps you informed when it matters most. Plus, catch featured audio and video, expert insights, and stories that impact your operation and your bottom line. Finally, a farm news website built for your schedule, morning, noon, or late at night. Today's headlines are ready when you are at OhioAgNet.com. More farm news after this.
Hey pork producers! The 2026 Ohio Pork Congress is almost here. It all happens in Lima, Ohio on February 3rd and 4th at the Veterans Memorial Convention Center. You'll get the latest on swine health, facility management, economics, product innovation, and more. And don't forget about the expanded Spanish language breakout sessions. All this with over 60 trade show exhibitors to visit. So go to ohioporkcongress.org today to get more information and early registration discounts. We'll see you in Lima.
Get ready to bid on the heavy equipment and vehicles you need in a Ritchie Brothers Midwest Regional event happening February 10th through 12th. Inventory is at Ritchie Brothers locations in Columbus, Chicago, Detroit, Minneapolis, Kansas City, and Lincoln, with in-person inspections available. Bid on a wide selection of excavators, loaders, dump trucks, and truck tractors. Don't miss this great opportunity. Visit rbauction.com/Columbus to sign up. rbauction.com/Columbus.
Welcome back to the Ohio AgNet. I'm Ty Higgins. What are some of the trends in the livestock world as far as auctions and prices? Joel Panorwood has that in today's featured audio.
Livestock prices. It's something we talk about quite a bit, and it's a variable world out there with regard to livestock prices. But today, kind of talking about the specialty market. And joining us right now, Kim Welch of BLT Livestock Auction. They're located just outside of Marysville in west central Ohio. And Kim, thank you so much for joining us here today. First of all, before we get into some interesting prices that you guys have been seeing lately, tell us about your operation.
Well, we are getting ready to celebrate 15 years next month in February. This was kind of just a idea that we put together 15 years ago and thought there was a demand for another smaller livestock auction in the area. It's family owned and operated, and we have some other great staff members as well that we couldn't do it without. But BLT, a lot of people always ask, what does that stand for?
A delicious sandwich. That's what it stands for, right?
Yes. We named it after our three children, Briar, Lacey, and Tacey. So kind of threw that in there. But we never expected it to grow the way it has. But here we are.
And you've recently posted on some social media results from your first sale of 2026 that happened recently. And you got quite a bit of feedback from that, and sort of what drew us to talk with you here today. Amazing prices from that sale.
Yes, definitely. For January in the past has been our smaller sales of the year. And not that prices have been bad in January, but this January definitely surprised all of us. But yeah, some really, really good prices for the animals that we had here. And I think people are just starting to look for projects and stuff a little bit earlier nowadays than maybe what they did in the past. And that could have something to do with it.
Yeah, that leads into the next question. What's the cause for this, and what specific categories did surprise you guys on that front? Talking from a trend perspective.
Yeah, I remember personally years ago going to, markets with my dad, and Jersey bottle calves you could buy for next to nothing. And we had the only bottle calf we had here at the sale last Saturday was a Jersey bottle calf. He was 4 weeks old, looked good for a Jersey, and he brought $700. So that, you know, raised a lot of commotion on the Facebook post, but he was a nice looking calf. But I mean, I think that's part of the trend nowadays. We had rabbits. Rabbit brought good money Saturday at the sale, and they were registered Flemish giant does that were pedigreed. I'm gonna guess that those as well went for 4-H projects that somebody's going to use to raise litters or produce for them as far as that goes. So the prices were good. They surprised us.
Man, I just think about it was not that long ago when you couldn't give away a bull calf, and
Right.
here we are getting an update on part of the livestock puzzle and trends that we're seeing lately from a good start to 2026 price-wise. That's happening over at BLT Livestock Auction. And joining us today, Kim Welch, co-owner over that way. And Kim, thank you so much for your time with us on the Ohio AgNet.
Thank you for having us.
Our conversation continues online at ohioagnet.com and the full video regarding BLT Livestock Auction's recent results. I'm Joel Norwood for the Ohio AgNet.
Thanks, Joel. We'll check the markets and get some analysis coming up after this on the Ohio AgNet.
It's time for the Morton Buildings Building Value Days sales event running now through the end of February. Morton buildings are built stronger, last longer, and look better. So if you're planning for a garage, farm shop, stall barn, a storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, or anything in between, act now. Our buildings are built to last, but these savings won't. Visit MortonBuildings.com or contact your local Morton office to take advantage of current savings on new buildings. Certain restrictions may apply. Offer valid only on select new building orders placed between January 5th and February 28th, 2026.
Attention construction pros. Purple Wave Auction brings quality equipment to your fingertips. Join our bi-weekly online auctions featuring dozers, excavators, loaders, and more. We provide detailed listings, photos, and seller contact info. Inspect online or in person. With our no reserve policy, every item sells to the highest bidder. Visit purplewave.com today and see why informed builders choose Purple Wave. Transparent processes, real deals, your next great purchase awaits. purplewave.com.
Welcome back to the Ohio AgNet. I'm Ty Higgins. Today's market analysis is brought to you by the Louis Dreyfus Company, excited to be building the newest state-of-the-art soybean crush facility in Upper Sandusky. Call 574-566-2113 for information on soybean marketing to LDC. Here's Ryan Martin.
Grain markets a little changed yesterday, and so we go into the final part of the week here looking for weekly export sales report data to give us a little bit of insight overall. The markets overall firm yesterday, but there wasn't much for either side to really sink teeth into. Headlines were few and far between. The wheat futures led a bounce to start the day and go through midday yesterday, but even there wasn't really super exciting. There was no new Chinese interest in U.S. soybeans. The next several months will be all about the commercial viability of importers securing U.S. origin beans. There's long been discussed the competitive nature of Brazilian offers, which are likely to become more and more aggressive as harvest in Mato Grosso and Paraná reach 50% complete or more. Weekly ethanol production for the week ending January 16th was down 23 million from the previous week's all-time record, but still the largest ever for this past particular week. I'm Ryan Martin.
Markets on the Ohio AgNet brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. Corn for March, $4.23.5, down by a half cent. May off a quarter at $4.32 a bushel. And July corn no change at $4.38.5. Soybeans for March up a half cent at $10.64.5. May $10.77 up by a penny. July beans up a cent as well at $10.90 a bushel. Wheat for July $5.40 up a penny and a quarter. September a half cent to the good at $5.54 a bushel. Live cattle for February closing out Thursday 72 cents lower at $232.37. April live cattle $234.82 and down by 12. June $230.90 and 2 cents higher. Feeder cattle for March down by a dime Thursday at 359.27. April 357.95 down 17. Lean hogs for February 88.47 up 62. April up 75 points at 96.35. For the Ohio AgNet, I'm Ty Higgins reporting. We'll see you down the road.